Touro Law School, which is Suffolk's first law school, is located in a former junior high school in Huntington, where it moved in the fall of 1982 from its former Manhattan location.
The law school was named after Judge Fuchsberg. In the 70s, when Dr. Lander was contemplating creating a law school, Judge Fuchsberg headed the trustees committee. So he had been involved with conceiving the law school from the very beginning, and he was also a very generous patron of the law school. So it was almost a natural thing to select his name as the name we'd attach to the law school. Well, when I came to Touro, the school was very young. We had fortunately received provisional accreditation under the leadership of Dean John Bainbridge. That was very important because without provisional accreditation, our 1983 first graduating class wouldn't have been able to take the bar exam. And we had to decide what sort of a law school we wanted to be. And I think in those early days, we decided this should be a place where people cared for each other, where there was frequent contact between the faculty, administrators, and students, and where the students had a sense of camaraderie, a sense of being in something together and not necessarily struggling against each other. And during the time I was dean, we saw our alumni going out into the world and getting jobs with good law firms, getting significant public interest jobs, and even getting elected to the judiciary. We also established our first overseas summer programs, which turned out to be quite successful and a wonderful opportunity for students and also for our faculty who taught in those programs. Our first program was in Moscow, and our second program was in India. In 1992, we sought membership in the Association of American Law Schools, and one factor that helped our application was the establishment of a faculty chair by Bruce Gould, one of our generous benefactors who also underwrites our annual Bruce K. Gould Book Award. That chair was very influential in our membership application to the ALS, and the first person to occupy the chair was a senior member of our faculty at the time, Professor Barbara Schwartz. One of the most important things that happened to me was getting a call in 1992 from Chris Botkin, who was then the deputy supervisor of Islip, town of Islip. And he said to me, after introducing himself, I didn't know him, how would you like to move to Central Islip? And he reminded me that there was a state courthouse in Central Islip, and the government had just approved the construction of a new federal courthouse in Central Islip. And it was going to be the second largest federal courthouse in the country, and wouldn't it be great if we could create a law campus in Central Islip? Of course, to execute the move to Central Islip is going to require raising significant funds. We need to build a building, acquire property, and various other expenses attached to the construction of the building. And we turned for help to our alumnus, Bruce K. Gould, who'd been so influential in so many other projects at the law school. And we asked Bruce to head up our capital campaign committee, which he did, and through Bruce's efforts and that of other members of his family, we did raise the money, and we now have, as part of our structure, our magnificent library named after the Gould family.
On the drive from Omaha to Touro, we stopped in Indianapolis and met Mark Haston at a restaurant. We had a lovely time together. I said, well, I got a question for you. What about this new building? And he says, tell me about it. So we started talking. We had a nice talk, and he promised me that he would make sure the building got built. And I said, great, sign me up. One of the exciting things about being the dean during that period was coming down here 2 or 3 times a week as the building took shape. It was so exciting, and yet it was a little bit terrifying. Watching the thing take shape and learning about where the concrete, the prefabricated concrete, and these other pieces, and then little by little we started building to the 2nd floor, and then the 3rd floor and the 4th floor. It kept growing and growing and looking more and more sleek. It was a good looking building. We raised the money, and we did the planning, and we did the work, and we did the move, and we did what we wanted as a group with the staff and the faculty and everybody together. This was a joint effort, and to see it come together as a family's new home, it was just wonderful. If you're going to build it, you have to change the curriculum. And changing curriculums is something law faculty just don't like to do because it takes a lot of work. Thankfully, a number of faculty on the curriculum committee had done the groundwork and had started talking about what could happen if we were in Central Iceland. And the idea of the first year, second year, third year programs building on top of each other sounded right to me. And right from the get-go, we started taking first-year law students across the street into the federal courts, into the state courts, in our court observation program. I love our clinic, but everybody has a clinic, but we have a great one. But a PAC Center is different. We are explaining to our students what's happening to the people of Long Island when it comes to housing, when it comes to employment, when it comes to discrimination, when it comes to voting rights, when it comes to veterans, when it comes to the disabled. We are explaining to students who work there what happens to groups of people who may need our assistance, the assistance of lawyers. Why is, Touro Law so special? You talk to students. Students get the sense that people are friendly here. Now, that's not true at every law school in the United States. I think that we have an unusually friendly building, And I don't know exactly why. I think it's the staff. I think the students feel comfortable here. And it makes us certainly as comfortable and friendly a law school as there is. And I think that's a good thing.
I remember having a conversation in 2012 with Dr. Kadish when I was thinking about the opportunity to join the Touro Law Center family. And I asked Dr. Kadish about his vision for the Law Center. And he shared with me that he wanted to make sure that the Law Center was an integral part of the Touro College and Touro University community, and that we had full support of Touro College, and he wanted to make sure that our brand name meant something. He was committed to making sure that our reputation grew, and he was committed to making sure that we had the resources to do that. And I was pleasantly surprised when I got here because I saw a group of people that really cared about students, that cared about the community, that cared about people, that wanted to make a difference. And I really think that's the Touro advantage. It's the human capital that's here and what people believe in, because that can't be replicated someplace else. Superstorm Sandy hit Long Island on a Monday, and our law school community as a whole was devastated. It affected our students, it affected our staff, it affected our faculty, ability to travel, ability to communicate. But despite those hardships, 2 days later, many people found their way into the building, not because we had classes, but because people cared about helping those in need. And people knew that there were victims out there that needed legal assistance, but really just needed food and needed towels and needed the basic necessities of life in order to weather the rest of the storm. From that grew our Touro Law Center Heartline, the TLC Heartline, and then our Disaster Law Clinic that has really been a national award-winning clinic. We're now 35 years old. We're ready to go out and take the plunge and take the school to the next level. And so how do you do that? One of the things that's been critically important is getting external philanthropic support for the institution and creating a culture of philanthropy. So I'm really proud that working with a great team at the Law Center, we've been able to raise just over $10 million in the last 3 years. And this has directly benefited our students. We've raised well over $1 million in direct student scholarship support. We've raised money for our clinics. We've raised money for our institutes. And we have a new endowed faculty chair. These are all things that are critically important to ensuring a sustainable future for Touro Law Center. I'm proud that we were able to develop Portals to Practice, a written strategic plan that has 75 action items that really takes into account who we are as an institution and where we want to go. It's a really good feeling when you walk into somebody's law office and their Touro Law degree is hanging on the wall. I know our alumni are Touro proud, and we're proud of each and every one of them. When alums thank me to thank Touro Law Center for their career, for the ability to help other people, for the ability to be leaders in the profession, that's something special.
I want to wish a happy 35th anniversary to Touro Law.
Happy 35 years of leading in public interest work.
35 years of excellent legal writing.
35 years of fixing things.
Happy 35th anniversary, Touro Law.
35 years of putting students first.
35 years of great library service.
35 years of teaching Touro folks to dominate the courthouse.
Happy anniversary, Touro Law.
Happy 35th anniversary, Touro Law.
Happy anniversary, Touro Law.
35 years of teaching torts. Can you believe it?
35 years of teaching civil procedure.
35 years of excellent legal writing.
Happy 35th anniversary to Touro Law.
35 years of graduation.
35 years of financial aid. 35 years of student service.
35 years of helping students achieve their dreams.
35 years of helping our students.
Happy 35th anniversary, Touro Law Center.
Happy 35th anniversary, Touro Law.
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 35 years of making a difference.
And the best is yet to come.